Hi guys, this is the Betamax Man. We have another pickups video. Now, in the last lot of HD DVDs that I purchased, it came with Superman Returns, and this was sealed. I opened it up and put it on the shelf, but it just didn't seem right to have part 2 and not have the original. So I bought the original. Here it is. So I now have both of them. We're gonna do a little bit of unwrapping here, and I think there's a place where I could tear the seal here. There we go. And now I can unwrap it. I've never watched this movie before. I think this movie came out in the late 1970s, I do believe. Not really sure. I think it is the 70s when it came out. So let's put this wrapping away. I am gonna try to upload a couple pickups videos today, so you guys can see, because I have more pickups videos than just these, but I don't know why, but sometimes the covers are crooked, and it's like I gotta straighten them out because they're not, they're not straight. So there we go. Fix that. Now that's nice and straight. And there's no insert. So it's just the movie, which is surprising that there is no insert, but here's the disc. I'm gonna play this and make sure it works, because I have had some issues with some of Warner Brothers HD DVDs. Some of their discs, I've noticed, will not play, probably due to an error in the manufacturing, or it could be disc rot, because there's some of the discs that don't play. You can look at them and see that the coloring is off, so it's discolored, which is basically disc rot. But I hope this one doesn't have that. All the other companies like Universal and Paramount, they're fine. Nothing wrong with those, but it seems like WB had a batch of movies that didn't work right. So, and then Superman Returns, it's actually a double-sided disc. This is the combo. So I now have both Superman 1 and 2. And this particular, I might have seen it when I was a little kid. Because I do remember watching some kind of a Superman movie, and it might have been this one. But I was very, very little at the time. I was probably 4 or 5 years old at the time. But yeah, so I'm gonna be I'm gonna watch the number 1, and I'll watch number 2. You don't want to watch, I didn't want to watch number 2 because it won't make any sense. So you gotta watch the first one, of course, before you can watch the second one. But there we go. So I now have both of the Superman movies. So it's very happy to have those. And on HD DVD, there is one thing about high def discs that I don't like, and I've noticed it even with Blu-ray. Sometimes you can see the grain of the film, and that grain can kind of be annoying, and it kind of hard to focus on a video when it's, you know, because some of the transfers that they did were, you know, not very good, and it's mainly on the older films, and they don't look very good because they got a lot of grain in them. But I noticed that with Blu-ray too, is that some of the older films, you know, that's one thing. You know what, I'm gonna get one more video out because I want to talk about this subject. So let's see if I can find it here. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So this particular disc, believe it or not, this is the combo pack. So it has standard def on this side, which is the regular DVD, and then on the other side it has the high def transfer. And I've noticed that the master, the DVD master had some discoloration, and I look at it and I realize that the DVD was mastered off of a videotape. Analog videotape, you can tell the difference between an analog signal from a videotape versus a digital signal from like DVD. Because analog has a hard time reproducing the color red and also the color green, whereas digital doesn't have any of those problems. Digital can display the color the way it was meant to be seen, but analog color can be a little bit discolored. You might get just a little bit of lines. You can see the analog versus the digital. But anyway, so I thought, you know what, they took this movie, they mastered the DVD off of probably a 1-inch master tape or a 2-inch master tape. It could have even been mastered off of U-matic. You know, it could have been a U-matic tape or a Betacam SP tape that they mastered the DVD on. So, and also with like Star Trek Next Generation, the first releases where they had them in the books, those were mastered off of videotape, and there was some information saying that they mastered it originally from Betacam SP. Now Betacam SP, which was a professional production use, it was industrial, it was used with like television studios and movie companies and stuff. They used Betacam SP, you know, but yeah, so it was probably, this was probably mastered off a 1-inch or a 2-inch master tape and put on DVD, and I just wanted to share that with you, kind of share those experiences with you, and kind of let me show you the Next Generation and what I'm talking about. So here's one of the boxes. So this is Next Generation. This was how they first released them when they originally put this series on DVD. They were mastered from a videotape, and there is a lot of information saying that it might have been mastered off of Betacam SP. And Betacam SP is the best quality you can get for analog video. You know, it's a very good quality, but when you master from a videotape to a DVD, you can see the colors are not quite right, you know, especially the color red, because it's analog. You can tell the difference between an analog signal and a digital signal. Now, there's also bad parts about digital, such as the pixelation that happens with poor digital signal, or, you know, like if somebody has recorded something in like a 6-hour record time, or even a 4-hour record time, and they put it on DVD, you can see the pixelation, because the slower the speed, the worse the quality is going to be. So, like with the VHS and beta, you know, when you record in the SLP speed for VHS, you're going to notice that you have a lot of picture quality loss. You've lost a lot of the quality of picture. Whereas Beta 3, same way. I mean, you record in Beta 3, you're going to lose quality. Not as bad as VHS's SLP, but still. And that's what I'm talking about. So, you know, they basically, with these ones, they mastered off of videotape, but they put them, these were $100 when they came out. My brother and my dad actually bought these together. They kind of split the money and bought them so that the family could see them. And at that time, I didn't have any money, so, you know, it was my dad and my brother that picked these up. And, you know, now that my dad is no longer with me, I'm gonna keep them because they were given to my dad, and my dad, you know, wanted me to have these. He said if anything happened to him, that most of his stuff would go to me, but I miss him a lot. But he got these discs, and they were $100 a set. But you play them back, and you can see the analog lines through the color red. Like, they're little tiny little discolored lines that go through the picture, and you can only pick this up on a digital TV. So on a high-def TV, you can see the difference between the analog versus a digital. So you can really see it. It's not really there on a tube TV, because, you know, the tube TVs were designed for, you know, standard definition. They were designed for analog, so you don't see them. But when you play them back on a digital TV, like a high-def TV, a modern television, you can see them. You can pick them up. So, but these were a lot of money back then, and I am wanting to invest in the Blu-ray copy of the series, but they do have Blu-ray copies available now. That what they've done is they went back to the original film and transferred from the original footage that was shot on film, because they edited these on tape. They did the editing from the when they did the editing from the film, they put it on videotape. So they took the film, and then they put their special effects, and then they recorded it onto a videotape. Probably could have been a 1-inch master tape, and so they transferred from the tapes, because and it took them hours and hours and hours to put the series back together in high def. It took them many hours to put this series on high definition, because they not only had to go through the film shots, but then they had to do all the special effects, and but I mean, it was amazing how they put this series together. But this is just kind of a filler video to keep you entertained or give you some of my knowledge, and while you're waiting on another Betamax video. I will have another Betamax video, I do say that, yes, DVD has good quality if it's mastered correctly. If it's mastered poorly, if it's mastered off of videotape, your quality is poor. I mean, it's not going to be poor like bad picture quality. It's still going to be a good picture, but you're going to see some of the colors are not quite right. They're, especially the color red is hard to, is very hard to do with the analog. But, it's just, but they did a pretty nice job on them. Even though these were mastered from videotape, they still had very good quality picture. It's just that the colors were not as clear and bright and crisp. They're not, the colors were not, didn't come out the way that you were intended to see them, But yeah, so digital does have some really good qualities as far as like picture, because it can reproduce any color at 100% and it won't have any problems. But analog will always have a problem with color red, especially even with VHS. Doesn't matter if it's Betamax, VHS, Super VHS, ED Beta, they're all going to have those lines. VHS-C, Video 8, and I think High 8 was done digitally, so High 8 you're not going to have any problems. But yeah, analog has always struggled to reproduce the color red and the color green, some of the other colors, but mainly those two that I've noticed. But anyway, so now I have the original Superman, and I'm going to go watch it. So thank you guys for watching my video. Hit like and subscribe, and hit a comment down below if you want to talk to me. I usually check my comments every other day, sometimes every day, so it might be a day or two to get back to you. But if you leave a comment, I will try to always reply. So see you later. Bye bye.